Have you ever met someone who changed your life in a way you never saw coming? If you're watching this right now, you're about to hear a story that'll make you believe in second chances, in fate, and in the quiet magic of kindness. So stay with me till the end, because trust me, you won't see the twist coming. And hey, if this story touches your heart even a little, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It helps us keep sharing stories that remind us how beautiful humanity can be. It all began with Adam, a 32-year-old single dad whose life had lost its color years ago. His wife had passed away in a car accident when their son, Ethan, was only 3. Since then, Adam's world had shrunk into two things: his son and his small auto repair shop on the edge of town. He worked long hours, often returning home covered in grease but with just enough energy left to read Ethan a bedtime story. Adam's friends often joked that he lived like an old man. "You need someone to bring back the smile you used to have," they said. But Adam would just wave it off. Love wasn't on his list anymore. He had responsibilities, and besides, who would want a single dad who barely had time to breathe? That's when his best friend Noah and his wife Sophie decided to meddle. They set him up on a blind date without telling him the full truth. "Just trust us," Sophie said with a grin. "She's kind, beautiful, and you'll thank us later." Adam reluctantly agreed. He didn't want to go, but Sophie had already told him it was a dinner meeting with a potential business investor. When he arrived at the small cafe downtown, he saw her, Lena. She sat by the window, wearing a simple cream dress. Her long hair framed her face softly, but what caught his attention wasn't her beauty, it was the wheelchair beside her. For a moment, Adam froze. He didn't know if he should feel awkward or apologetic for being surprised. But then she looked up, smiled, and something in her eyes disarmed him completely. "Adam?" she asked warmly. "Yes," he replied, taking the seat opposite her. The first few minutes were polite but stiff. Adam wasn't sure what to say, afraid of saying the wrong thing. But Lena made it easy. She laughed easily, asked about Ethan, and told him stories about her mischievous nephews. He soon found himself smiling, really smiling, for the first time in a long while. When the waiter came, she asked Adam to order for her. "My hands don't always cooperate," she said casually. "Car accident 2 years ago. I'm still learning to live with it." He nodded silently, his chest tightening. He knew too well what it was like to lose control over your own life. Over the next few weeks, they met often. Sometimes for coffee, sometimes for walks along the riverside where she'd tell him about her favorite books and her belief that pain doesn't destroy, it transforms. She told him, "People see this wheelchair and think I'm broken. But I see it as proof that I'm still here." Her strength humbled him. And Ethan loved her too. When Adam introduced them, Ethan had said shyly, "You're really pretty. You look like someone who tells good bedtime stories." Lena laughed and promised to read him one someday, but the truth, the part no one had told Adam yet, was that Lena wasn't just any woman. She was the CEO of a major design company, the same one that had been considering partnering with his small auto business for a charity project. Noah and Sophie had known this. They'd hoped that if Adam met her without knowing who she was, he'd see her for her soul, not her status. Weeks turned into months, and feelings began to grow. Adam found himself looking forward to every text, every visit. He started fixing up his shop, inspired by her belief in possibilities. Lena, too, had found something she thought she'd lost, the feeling of being seen as more than her wheelchair, more than her title. But one night, everything came crashing down. Adam was at the shop late when 2 men in suits walked in. They introduced themselves as representatives from Lena Group, there to finalize details of a business collaboration. When they mentioned Lena's full name, Lena Marlowe, CEO, Adam's heart dropped. He felt blindsided, foolish, betrayed. The next day, when he saw her, his voice was sharp. "You should have told me who you really are." Lena looked stunned. "I wanted to, but I wanted you to know me, not my company." "So all this, was it a setup? A charity case?" he snapped, her eyes filled with tears, but she didn't look away. "No," Adam. You're the first person who's ever looked at me like I was just Lena." But he was too hurt to hear her. He walked away. 4 weeks, they didn't speak. Lena threw herself into work, but nothing felt right. Adam went back to his old routine, but everything felt emptier now. Ethan kept asking, "When is Lena coming again?" and Adam had no answer. Then one evening, a letter arrived at his shop. Inside was a photo of Ethan's favorite storybook, The Little Engine That Could, and a handwritten note, "Even when the world tells us we can't, we can. You taught me that, Adam. Don't stop believing in second chances." That night, Adam couldn't sleep. He realized what mattered most wasn't her title or her wealth, it was the way she'd brought life back into his and Ethan's hearts. He'd let his pride get in the way of something pure. The next morning, he showed up at her office. He didn't care about security guards or the curious stares. When Lena saw him standing there, out of breath and nervous, she smiled through tears. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "I didn't fall for the CEO. I fell for the woman who made me laugh again." Lena wheeled closer. "And I fell for the man who saw strength in broken things." They hugged, and the people around them began to clap softly. It wasn't just a reunion, it was a reminder that love doesn't look for perfection. It looks for connection. Months later, they started a foundation together, to provide jobs and adaptive tools for people with disabilities. Their story became known around town not because it was dramatic, but because it was real. A story of healing, honesty, and the courage to try again. And if you've stayed with me till this point, remember this: sometimes the people who walk into your life by accident are the ones meant to change everything. Love doesn't always come how you expect it, but it always comes when you're ready to see it. If this story touched your heart, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs hope today, and don't forget to subscribe, because every week, we bring you stories that remind us that life, even in its hardest moments, still finds a way to be beautiful.